Sorry, Commissioner Baloy, your question?
Said at 550, we see that information, but it relates to another tender. And my question is, well, on this page, where do we see what tender it refers to?
It's what I've just read out on I think it's 5501.
Yeah.
It's the email.
You say it's part 550 is part of 5501. Is that what you're saying?
I think the two go together. We don't have the top of the page on 5500. But that is sent, what you'll see on the letter is, and the reason why you don't see the top of the page, it seems that what was most important for General Khan to forward was who was awarded that particular tender, because just above the signature it has the names and addresses of the contractors. And then the date, 12 April 2022, and then is the email with the appointment of this service providers for the provision of the reflective equipment. So the two are to be read together. Appointment of service providers on that tender. And then if you scroll down, Mr. Vally didn't read it closely because when he received it, he thought it was another tender for which he could bid. So his response is, on it, Brew. Meaning, well, what's obvious. And then he says, thank you, JZKL, Jazakallah. And then General Khan says to him, no. Well, he doesn't say no. He says, this was awarded to the above companies. And then Mr. Vally responds, oh, SHIT. And then General Khan replies, another disaster on the way. And then Mr. Vally says, yes, Brew, they effing it up. And then he follows that with the following, we need one big one, and then we chill. General Khan replies to that, we need one big one. What you see is he responds with 100 and a strong arm muscle emoji.
Mr. Sim, at page 5501, that email, the top of the email, I don't know if on the electronic copies you have a better visual, but on the face of it, and tell me if I'm incorrect, it looks like it's an internal email that is being shared, just looking at the addresses.
Commissioner Baloy, I'm in agreement with the way you see it. We don't have a better copy than this. But what we see is what you also see, is that it's internal. It saps all email users. It's in fact, it's a group that's created, an email group that would be an internal email group.
Thank you.
At 5535, and we are now in June 2022. So on the 14th of June 2022, General Khan sends a message to Mr. Vally, and the content of the message is as follows. Grootman, I'm getting lots of backlash from the market players on K. We need to regroup ASAP so that they give me info. Mr. Vally replies, okay, Brew, we can meet him. So let me just pause there for a second, because again, this is a forwarded message. And it seems to be that it comes from Mr. Fani, who is getting backlash in relation to this particular tender. And K may be a reference to Kazan Motor Spares. So Mr. Vally says, okay, we can meet him. General Khan says, this evening. And Mr. Vally says, is it competitors? And then he says, to this evening, he says, gee, that's okay. And then he says, must I get Goni here? And General Khan says, yes, competitors. And just pause there, and you'll see later that there is a challenge, as I mentioned earlier. There is a challenge to the award of this tender. Yes, competitors, Mr. Vally replies, okay, blood, main thing is we're sticking to the prices quoted, but we applied twice for an increase, but no response. General Khan replies, okay. And then over the page 5538, Mr. Vally says, so Lekker, we meet if, because he can chase that email. General Khan says, please call. That's at still 14 June 2022 at 10:38 in the morning. He says, please call. And then we don't see anything until the next day, 15 June 2022 at 5:26 in the morning, when Mr. Vally greets General Khan and says, see you just now. Then we go to 27 June 2022, 5541. And here what we see is Mr. Vally sends General Khan a copy of an email from Kazan to Ms. Mkhonazi, complaining to them, SAPS and Treasury, about not getting enough orders. So the email starts on 5541, it continues on to 5542. I've described what it's about, Chair. Would you like me to read it into the record?
Read what you would want to read and then make the explanation?
So, Chair, the gist of the message is a complaint about the contract not being financially viable because they're not getting sufficient purchase orders. He sends this is an email that's sent from Kazan. It's then forwarded to General Khan. And Mr. Vally says on page 5543, will Brew manage to chat to F? So it's the same complaint that we've seen in previous letters about the buyouts and parts and purchase orders. So he says, will Brew manage to chat to F as to get that meeting about all this and buyouts? And General Khan replies, I will call him tomorrow. And Mr. Vally responds, JZKL, thank you. And then if we scroll down, so the concern here is about, clearly they're not happy with what they're getting out of it. On page 5544, well, let me just say this, because 5544 to 5545 what you will see is a media announcement of the President, Mr. Ramaphosa, approving the Just Energy Transition Framework, which is a move away from fossil fuels to sustainable energy sources. So that's what this media announcement is about. South Africa approves $8.5 billion plan to move away from coal. And then Mr. Vally responds to that with more objectionable language. That's not the relevant part. If we scroll further down, 5546, what he says is we got to make some huge money. General Khan seems to agree with Mr. Vally's assessment of the President, as you see from his response, which is big C followed by 3 letters. And then Mr. Vally says, Inshallah, we land a big one, Brew. You will see. And General Khan responds, Inshallah. And then on 5547, the next page, on the 13th of July 22, Mr. Vally says, can Brew push to meet F? And it appears there are 2 points he wants to discuss in a meeting with F. And that is 1, price increases, please. 2, buyouts, please. General Khan responds, okay, Brew. Mr. Vally says, thank you. Over the page, 5548. General Khan says he can make it now at 12. Please confirm. This is 13 July 2022 at 9:30 a.m. And he can make it now at 12. Please confirm. And then the next message is at 9:46 a.m. and he says, I am rescheduling. So I just want to pause here for a moment and take the commissioners to the chat between General Khan and Mr. Molefe at this time. And you'll find that at page 4706. That'll be the volume 1 that Okay, so this is a chat between General Khan and Mr. Molefe Fani. And at the bottom of 5706, well, let's just read the whole thing. It starts off, good morning, sir. It's 13 July 2022. It starts at 8:12 in the morning. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? When can you make time to meet with us? That's General Khan. And then you see Mr. Fani responds at 8:35 a.m. Are you available now at 12? I can come through. I must give other feedback. I'm well nonetheless. General Khan says, I am not around. Do you mind meeting with Ismail? Mr. Molefe says, Mr. Fani says, I don't mind. Will you be available later? He says, General Khan says, yes, I can do after 4. Then Mr. Fani says, we can do 7 if that's okay. General Khan says he can't. He's got a family dinner. Mr. Fani responds saying, now it's 9:20 a.m. It's impossible earlier. Let me meet the guys now then. At 12. General Khan responds, it's spelt no, K-N-O-W, arrange, but I think what he means is let me now arrange. Mr. Fani responds, cool, and that's at 9:30 a.m. on the 13th of July. And you'll recall from the earlier chat we were looking at, he was trying to engage Mr. Vally to say, can we meet at 12? At 9:46, he says to Mr. Fani, let's reschedule. Ish is not answering now. Sorry about that. And Mr. Fani says, no problem. So when we look at 5547, it says to Mr. Vally, I am rescheduling. So basically, he's already rescheduled on the other chat with Mr. Fani. He comes back and he says, I am rescheduling. So again, as we saw with Friday, there's now direct communication between General Khan and Molefe Fani. So we then go to August. 5556. Actually, it's 5554 is where it starts. 5554. And you'll see in the middle of that is an attachment. It's a PDF document. We're just going to flight it chair because it's not in the annexures document. It's not in the annexures bundle. You'll see what it is a notice of motion. It's the review that I referred to earlier to set aside this tender. Chair, maybe I'll just move on and I can come back to it once we find it. This is bringing the whole topic of the tender to a close, though. But what we see is that this is a notice of motion brought by several unsuccessful bidders. Mr. Vally sends General Khan a screenshot of the notice of motion, which refers to affidavits, but he doesn't attach the affidavits that underpin the notice of motion. General Khan then responds, this is, by the way, 4th of August 2022. He says, do you have the affidavits he's referring to? Mr. Vally says, no, Brew. And then on 5555, he says, I'll get it, Brew, on it. It's this normal bull SHIT behavior, when guys lose. And then General Khan says, what did AHK get awarded? AHK, we've heard of before, they were not a successful tenderer here in this contract, but they were one of the applicants in this review application. So Mr. Vally responds immediately to that to say, no, Marf, it's Keegan's Jamie's partnering with AHK and DAR. Those three are all taking this on. So those are three different companies that had separately tendered for this contract. And he said these three are all taking this on. And then General Khan responds, big C, followed by 4 letters. Commissioners, that is the closure of this particular topic on the chapter of tenders. We will follow up on the legal challenge, but what's important for us is the engagement here between General Khan and Mr. Vally on this. And what I submit to the Commission, it shows, is that as with the other tenders, this again is feeding into and growing the pattern of engagements between General Khan and certain individuals. And from this particular tender, we see that Mr. Vally from Kazan treats General Khan as a person who can unlock access. Pardon me, you now see the notice of motion flighted in front of you. So we see that he sees General Khan as a person who can facilitate access for him, not just to one tender, but to several, any opportunity that could possibly come their way. We see that General Khan arranged meetings with a contact within procurement and obtained information from that contact. We see that that contact is Mr. Molefe Fani.